But let me go on to somebody far more important than myself in this discussion, which is Mahbouba Seraj. We talked about the brave women, and I think there's everybody in this room and in Afghanistan and around the world who would acknowledge the courage of Afghan women, particularly Afghan women who've opted to stay on and fight the good fight in the country. It's a huge challenge, a huge, I would say also a huge opportunity to be the voice of women and girls who are struggling so hard to regain their civic space. Mahbouba, along with, of course, being a rights activist and one of the strongest voices for women's rights, was also the founder of the Afghan Women's Network. She was a journalist, and the reports that come through is of all the professions and all the civic spaces that have been lost to women, possibly journalism has been the worst hit. So that voice and the face of women is disappearing, physically, but also virtually. And we've seen that change, Mahbouba, over the last 20 years. It was that voice of women that was heard and seen by Afghans countrywide. How much of a loss has that been to promoting just society? And how difficult would it be for women to regain that space? Do you see opportunities? Do you see a way forward to regain some of that lost space? Please, Mahbouba.
Thank you, Samina Jan. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much. I am really honored to be here and be able to talk about the women and girls of my beloved Afghanistan. And I would like to thank Samina Jan for giving me this opportunity, and also Asma Jahangir's foundation, and the fact that I'm here being invited by them. I'm really honored. I am an Afghan, I'm an activist. I've been doing that since 2003. I came back from exile in Afghanistan, and I've been working ever since then with the women of Afghanistan. The group of women of Afghanistan that today are at the forefront of all of the fights and everything that they have achieved, they grew up in front of me. And I'm extremely honored to be a part of raising such an amazing group of young women that they have reached places. And first, when I arrived in Afghanistan, I can tell you the voices of Afghan women were so tiny that you could not hear them. I mean, they were the tiniest, lowest voices. And I saw the same women roar in the international meetings in the arena while talking about Afghanistan. And that gave me such a hope. And August 15, 2021, I saw the democracy that I worked for, the Afghanistan that I had such a hopes for, that we will be doing things, different things, moving forward, collapse in front of me in 24 hours. In 24 hours, a democracy died. I have never seen anything like it in my life. It was just gone. And after that, it has been this constant struggle to prove to whoever is around us that the women of Afghanistan are here, they're here to stay, they exist, and they cannot be ignored. But the women of Afghanistan, unfortunately, in the eyes of the government that is ruling Afghanistan today, they have completely vanished. They are erased. Nobody is even looking at them. Nobody looks at us. I cannot tell you what an unbelievable feeling that is, that when you go into a place and you are facing people and nobody looks at you. It's beyond comprehension. But this is what it is. Education is something that we don't have any access to. The women of Afghanistan, from class up to 6 they do, but from 6 onwards they don't. University this year, the concours examination, which is the entry level, I believe was the last group that went to do the concours examination, because we don't have another class going up to go for the concours examination next year. So this is it. Whatever we have, they entered. There is no more. So it's like, how is it possible for a country with the population of 20 million women that the women have absolutely no right? No right to move, no right to advance, no right to take place, no right to education, nothing. But that's a reality, unfortunately. The only one thing is that as dark and as, how shall I say, hopeless and helpless that whole reality is, the Afghan women have not given up. And that is something that I absolutely salute to them. They really, my sisters have not given up. And they will never give up. That much I can promise you. So we are going to fight for it. We are going to raise our voices. We are going to ask for it. And we'll see when the changes are going to happen. But it better happen sooner rather than later. Because later it might be too late for Afghanistan. We might not even have a country to be fighting for it. So that is my worry as an Afghan woman, as an activist, and as a member of the human society. Thank you very much.